So let's take you there live.
Team that you know that there is a political task team in the province. It has been given to that under General Khumalo. That's how serious we take the case, and we hope that taking it that way, it will give us a quick response. Thanks.
Fantastic, Minister. Let's open up for some questions, and then we will do that at the end. All right, raise of hands. Go ahead, brother.
Minister, how many cases do you have that are currently being investigated by the political task force?
That in terms of election or general?
In terms of elections.
Well, the cases that have happened here in KZN are 3 women that were shot. You remember Nanda, and then in the case of Mkhize, and this is the case where we have lost lives. That will be almost how many people? 5 or 6? 6, because there were 2 with Mkhize, which was Mkhize, and I think somebody else, I think was Nyanga. So those people clearly died in the activities of politics, so they are 6. Those Commissioner hand them over to. But there are other cases that where was not loss of life, but the attacks on those individuals. There are 2 in Kwazulu-Natal, where the candidate survived, but somebody else also survived. There are those cases. There is other case that is happening. Has not been given or has not been reported officially. I know that the candidate of Ward 36, that is Guamashu Hostel, is not staying in the hostel as we speak because his life is under threat. So we are trying to work on that. So all those cases are given to the political task team to look after them.
Go ahead, brother.
Minister, briefly, we approaching the local government elections. The question is, will the police be enough to be deployed in these hotspot areas in KwaZulu-Natal during that time?
Well, fortunately, yesterday we had a meeting with the IEC, between the IEC and the Justice Cluster that Defence Minister and myself we chair. And then we met IEC. At the later stage, we met the Minister of Cocta dealing with these matters. What has happened and what we know for now, almost 23,000 voting stations in the country. All of them, they have been profiled, those voting stations, in a way that there are those among them which are very low risk level, which is quite a big number of them. There are about 19,000, and then there are those that are medium, there are about 3,000, and those that are high risk, those they are about 300. That is around the country. Unfortunately, most of those that are high risk will be from this province again, Gauteng, especially Tshwane, Western Cape, and Eastern Cape. So the police are planning around that. Exactly what will be the response on that, maybe it will be better to hold back on that one, but we know what to do, working according to the high risk and the hotspot of that particular station. That is on the cards. Police have worked on that. We are working with the SANDF. Already the Minister of Police has written the letter to the Minister of Defence so that the President gave us the permission of working with the SANDF. SANDF then does not then go to the voting stations. It deals with other installments, the government infrastructure and all that. That helps to release police to be on that work of election. But there will be not a single station on that particular day that will be without the member of the South African Police. All voting stations in the country will have. The only thing will be the strength, depending what is the risk of that particular station.
All right, Minister, you can use your mobile.
Minister,
to the elections, though, do we have enough police members to secure just general areas like this Edendale area? Do we have the budget for this? And then as well, Minister, it seems like we have more and more alleged hitmen for hire. The person that was accused of murdering Senzo Mliwa, as well as the 2016 ANC councillor, has now been convicted of those murders. But is police getting closer and closer to finding the syndicate of alleged hitmen for hire in KZN? It's a huge problem now.
Well, I thought you would have said congratulations to the police.
Well, Minister, it is 4 years later that the conviction...
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. The crux of the matter, that is one of the notorious hitmen that the police have managed to. So at least say something to the police about that, whether it's 5 years or 5 months. Is a notorious guy. What people are not asking, not shifting the blame to other segment of the law. Why was that guy on bail? Because he was on bail after he's been arrested. After he's arrested the councillor in Nongoma and other people. KZN alone were looking after 10 murders. Gauteng were looking after about 14 murders, including, remember, the guy appears again on the case of Senzo. So that is the work of the task force. By the way, maybe not giving details, since the task force has arrested 284 people. Most of them is Gabi. Out of those, you know, Ntuli, out of those, 9 of those people are doing life from the task team work, and 22 of them are doing years between 10 and 50 years. And one thing, working closely with the prosecution, we have managed to keep, I think, about 69 or 63 of them are in custody, which was something not very normal. People were getting bail every time. So, but working together, we have managed to keep them in custody. If you look at the history of this province, 2011 and 2016 was bloody, very bloody, which means while these things are happening, but the police have managed to remove quite a big number. This is Gabi we talk about. By the way, they're across the board, and not only just political. When it comes to politics, you find them. When it comes to taxi violence, you find them. When it comes to robbery, some of them in the cash heist robberies, they are there. So if you deal with this pool and remove them, a situation will be better. Your question, are the police? I'm very proud of the police, especially the task team that has been put, has really put some sense, and they've put some calmness in the situation of a very hot situation of politics in KZN.
Thank you, Minister. Just to clear it up, the Minister obviously meant the task team when he said the task force. Go ahead, my sister.
I'm Nongole Wasaka from SABC News. Minister, are you able to kind of like identify some of the hotspots, especially here in KZN, and even if mentioning those municipalities, and also will you be adding more of your manpower? Another question is the concern with the Plesisle police station. There have been a number of killings here in Pietermaritzburg, and some of those cases have not really made any breakthrough. Any comments in terms of like beefing the manpower at that station as well?
Well, you did ask that question. We will brief the person power. We'll bring both men and women. We have started to do that. For instance, we were in Tshwane 2 weeks ago, because Gauteng is not the whole Gauteng that gives us headache. Mostly it's Tshwane. We have sent extra personnel already, both in Mamelodi and where Tsepo was killed, Mabopane. So here, General Mkhwanazi has been given an extra personnel, and he will see how he deploys it as it comes here. Yes, there are areas where there will have to be an extra personnel. eThekwini is one problematic area. Here is one problematic area. Midilovo is one. KwaDukuza, King Citshwayo is one problematic area. And as you go Nongoma, as you know that the guy that was sentenced comes from Nongoma. So there'll be those areas. But the provincial commissioner will know exactly what's the story. I'm told that in Mitilovo, about 4 people again were picked up yesterday. If it continues, it happens that way, it will give us a space to do those things. Bless us, Lord. I'm a KZN boy. There was a time where this Blessed Lord was dealing with your Imbali, with your Kaluza, with Eden. But today, you can see as you drive here that this community has really grown much bigger and outgrown the station. That's one thing that we need to work on it. You remember that earlier on, I can't remember, I was here bringing more personnel to come and help to reduce the killings and all that, of which it happened. There was a time, you know what happened in Scottsville, because there were people here who were terrorizing the community, regardless of politics, regardless of social and all that kind of thing. You know what it happened in Scottsville. That you reduce, but I know it's coming up again. We are working on those situations. Investigations here, the detective Umkopos is working on specializing, because the job of the police is to prevent the crime happen. But when the crime happens, we must be able to respond by investigating and finding those people. So we are working on both prevention and investigation.
All right, Minister, before we do go, we would like a summary, Zulu, correct? Just in terms of the messaging with regards to the killings that we've seen in KZN, but overall readiness of the police and your confidence in the police, Minister, leading up to the number 1st elections.
Ngi-confident vele washo ngathi into ngiyancengwa, washo ngathi ngi-confident vele emaphoyiseni. Yebo, size eMgungundlovu namhlanje, sisemzini wakoshuku kwaShangase, la kuvele khona umshophi wokuthi silahlekelwe impilo kaThulani. Kunemkhandela ke emningana la, umuntu ujabulile ukubona abantu bemboni, kunepolitiki ekhona, kunesimo nje somphakathi. Okwethu akona ukuzobuza ukuthi ubulawela ipolitiki noma ubulawela ama-tax noma ubulawela. Okwethu ukuzothola isigebengu. Masithola isigebengu, ingakho sifike no provincial commissioner ohamba nethimba lakhe ukuthi bakwazi ukusitholela isigebengu, sibuye sotshela umphakathi, sitshele ifamily ukuthi bekwenze njani. Sithemba ukuthi lamathimba azosebenza lolu daba, ikakhulu lolu la ekhaya oluthathiwe lanikwa ithimba elibhekene nokubulawa kwabantu bezepolitiki eliholo ukhumalo, ngoba nalo silithatha serious nomuntu obugqamile kwepolitiki ubulewe, ingakho silusa lapha. Nokuthi bekufanele sishesheke sifike la, ngoba ibonakala sengathi iyanda lento, ifuna ukuba umlilo wequbula, ngoba emva kokufaka Thulani sekubuye kwabulawa abanye abantu abawu2. So bekufanele ukuthi sisheshe sifike ukuze ivimbeke, sibe nesiqiniseko ukuthi ayiqhubeki, sikwazi ukuthi sibambisane namaphoyisa. Kodwa ke sibheke iSouth Africa yonke le ndaba yokhetho, akona nje la kuphela. Sibheke zonke iy'teshi sesiyitholile ama-profiles azo ukuthi anjani. Kuney'teshi eziyoba namaphoyisa ambalwa, kube ney'teshi eziyoba namaphoyisa amaningi. Ngebhadi-ke le province yaKwaZulu-Natal nayo ikhona kulezo y'teshi, cishe ihamba phambili, eziyoba nenkinga, bese kuba yiseTshwane, kube ise-Western Cape kakhulu, ku-Metro Western Cape, bese kuba ise-Eastern Cape, namanye-ke ama-province. La eNatal, KZN, ama-region asihlupha kakhulu yiTheku, kube yila eMgungundlovu, kube yiKwaDukuza, kube yiseKing Cetshwayo, kuze kuyophuma kwaNongoma. Esithembayo ukuthi sokwazi ukusebenza ukuvimbela isimo ukuthi singakhuli kodwa sibe ngcono. Simo namanje singcono kunesimo sika 2011 no 2016. Mhlambe ke lokho kwenza ukuthi kwathunyelwa lamaphoyisa akhona ngaphansi kaKhuma enza umsebenzi omuhle. Umfokantuli gwetshiwe lapha ya, ocishe ugwetshelwe amacala ayishumi okubulala eNatal kuphela kuze kube ukapakela naseGauteng esisazowalandela nakhona aphenywayo kuleyo manikhumbula uboshiwe eboshelwe ukufa kukaSenzo okusho ukuthi insizwa ebulalayo ngempela kuyasiza ukuthi abantu abanjengalabo basuswe emphakathini ngokomthetho bakwazi ukuthi bayogcinwa ukuze isizwe sikhululeke.
Minister, ogcina ngesizulu, the role of the alcohol.
Police Minister Bheki Cele in Pietermaritzburg giving an update after himself being updated on the police work following the killing of EFF council candidate Thulani Shangase.